What are you doing? Hetty looked very suspicious with that look on her face.
I was hoovering and I thought I'd hoovered up one of your socket sets. So I thought if I take the bag out, I'll be able to pat it down and see if there's anything metal in it. But I don't think there is. I don't feel anything
You
now.
tried to be sneaky about it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Hello. I thought I'd just jump on because I wanted to point out the irony in the situation that I've just found myself in. So I thought, well, I've got an hour or so spare. I will sort out the rear mudguard for Bubba. I've already done the front. You might have seen it in the last video where I polished it and just tied it up. So I thought I'll do the mudguard. The irony is Joe rearranged the shelves and he tied it up. So we have a beautiful, lovely, lovely space where it's all been tidied. But I don't know where the mudguard is. I can see the one here that I've done and the tail light of the one that he's took off. But I don't know where he's put it. And I know how it feels when somebody tidies up and moves the things that you don't know. But yeah, come with me. We'll find it, I'm sure. But I can't see it on any of these shelves. This is all Honda, so I know it's not here. There's a mudguard here. Because that's next to the 350 though, I am convinced that belongs to that. And I'm not cleaning the mudguard twice unnecessarily. See, there's another mudguard there, and that one's Honda. I don't think Wren's one said Bullet on the back, so I don't think it's that one. There's another mudguard in there, but that one's not the correct one either. Is it blindingly obvious and I'm just missing it? I have no idea. Well, hopefully it won't be too long before he wakes up. And I can ask him. This is ridiculous. How'd you lose a mudguard? It's really big. Joe is up from his siesta and he has informed me this mudguard is Wren's mudguard. So I found it, so I can do it now. He's also pointed out that I don't listen. And he's right, I don't always listen because my head's always busy. So some of the stuff falls out. But the mudguards to the 350, if you all remember, they were black and they were the wrong shape. They were square, weren't they? And Tom had them back so that we have more space because that's going to have new mudguards. So that one is Wren's. So I can grab hold of that and I can get some work. Yay!
Must be good for you because it's an oldie worldy medicine bottle. Look.
You know what's not going to be good for you?
What?
Just getting yourself a drink and not the other person that's in the workshop with you.
All right.
All right.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Old wires.
Old wires, black, brown, white and green.
Yeah, so this was the rectifier wiring that came out, went into a junction, looped back on itself, then looped down, then went down all around the houses. Mm-hmm. So get rid of those, got rid of that junction. I've got the rectifier here with that empty connector. So I need to make up a harness for that, which is going to include this section of the old wiring harness. This will connect onto the alternator down there, and then wherever we end up mounting this, these will end up into that connector. Job done. Okay. We're updating from this silly little fuse holder, and this is the length of the positive. Do you know why the positive is this long?
But that's longer. I bet that goes past that back wheel.
Not far off. But
It would if it tucked all through.
yeah, probably. Now the odd thing about this positive cable, it was done so that this fuse holder sits inside the toolbox here.
Right.
And this comes back out and goes onto the battery. Right.
Right.
Do you know where the other end of this cable goes?
What do you mean the other end, as in the end that goes in here?
Yeah, so he goes up there into that harness, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And what colour is he?
Red. This one?
Yeah. Where do you think that ends up?
In there. And that come out of the triangular thing that was there.
So if this goes onto the battery.
Let's go round again.
So, I'm going to be brutal. Ready? Sorry, Wren. This is the old ignition coil wiring here. So you had the ground would have originally gone to the points breaker here via this connection.
Right.
And then that's what makes it spark. We'll talk about that. And this would have been a switch positive off of the ignition switch.
Okay.
So you have a positive going to the coil here.
Yep.
And then for the most of the time it's connected to ground.
Right.
That's what charges up the coil. As basically I can put it.
Okay. So the coil then holds a charge?
It builds a magnetic field up.
Right.
And then the second you disconnect that from its power, all that magnetic charge, it has nowhere to store it, so it has to send it somewhere. That's when it sends it to the spark plug, and that's how you get your spark.
I'm with you. Okay.
So this is superfluous because the boiler ignition kit, as it arrives, these two connect to the contact breaker. Here,
Okay.
which is these two wires here, match colours. Then you have this wire here, which is a ground.
So that comes like that, and them colours on that wire will automatically match these wires?
No, so there's a kit that you have to build and put into here
Okay.
that then has the matched wires on.
Right.
Which is why you're supposed to cut these and these to length,
Right.
which was never done. So we will do that. Then this is connected to ground,
Yeah.
which was left this long, but in reality it only needs to connect to the frame. So wherever this is mounted, this could just go whoop.
Okay. When you say connect to the frame,
Yep.
are you just meaning like be taped to the frame? As in that piece of black just needs a bit of tape around it and gets taped so it's touched the frame, or this gets touched to the frame?
The terminal gets connected to the frame. So here is the negative terminal off the battery,
Yeah.
which then comes up onto an eyelet,
Right.
which is attached to the frame mechanically. So that makes the whole frame negative.
Okay, so the charge goes into the frame?
At zero potential, so 0 volts. So when you got a light bulb, you have positive, don't you? It says 12 volts. You put a positive into the one side of the bulb,
Yeah.
and then the other side of the bulb goes to negative
Okay.
to make the circuit.
Right.
You can close out the circuit on most things via the chassis.
Ah, okay.
Alright? So once this is connected here,
Yeah.
and this is on the negative on the battery, all of this becomes negative.
Okay, so
Which-
it sort of squashes, turns it off.
Yeah. So then this can get connected there, that's the negative side of that loop. And then on here, we have these two wires, which it nicely tells you on here that they connect to the coil.
Okay, which is that circular thing on the floor? No?
No, it's over there somewhere, I cleaned it.
Oh, okay.
It's the thing that does the spark,
Right.
what I said about earlier. So you
Yeah.
build up the charge when you turn it off. So all we need to do additional to this, as well as resizing these and making it actually fit the bike, is we need a positive, which will come from the ignition switch,
Yeah.
and join this white wire.
Is there a reason this isn't neat and like tighter to these wires, and that is it supposed to be loose, or?
It's just an anti-rub sheathing, so
But-
it doesn't really matter. We can put some heat shrink on the end and
Yeah, someone just
put 'em
tidy
in.
it up a little bit.
We'll definitely neaten it all up. But we're going to cut these to length as well.
Yeah.
So that sorts that out. Then we get onto this. You know what this is? We spoke to John Truman about this.
That's the rectifier, yes.
Do you know what this does?
Isn't this the thing that we changed the position of? We changed the position of it on the Bonneville, but I want to
Yep.
say, isn't it what set fire on the BSA?
It is.
And that was because it was put in a place where it didn't get any air to it to keep it cool.
Yep.
And it was a hot day, and it had got our chunky cells sat on it.
That's not an alternator.
Oh, it's a rectifier. Oh, oh, I had all the right words then. Rectify. Fix. You rectify something, you put it back.
Or you put it into a state that you want it in.
Okay, so that's going to change.
So what have we got on here that we want to change? Electrically. Not everything.
Can it change it from being alternating current to directed current?
It can indeed.
Is that what we want it to do?
Yeah. So your alternator, there,
Yeah.
he's putting out his alternating current, which is going positive.
Negative, positive, negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes out of these two wires.
Oh, the green ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they go into this nice little box.
Yeah.
Then sat in this little box are some diodes. So this is your alternator.
So it takes my alternating current in.
Yep. And what's happening here? So he's positive.
He's positive and he's travelling along like la da da da.
What else happens?
Your negative goes the other way, down there.
He's negative. And then
Yeah.
what happens? What is he?
It's alternating, so he's going positive, negative, positive, negative.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So coming into here, say he's positive at this particular moment on our cycle. When he's positive, we come in here, and he comes down here, he goes through his little arrow, yeah,
Yep.
that says, yeah, you can go through the gate. Comes here. So what's this line?
Positive.
Okay. What did we say about diodes?
One way only.
So when Mr. Negative comes along here and he gets to here, what does this gate do?
When negative comes along, he doesn't go through there.
Yep.
He gets a no entry sign.
But when Mr. Negative comes along here, what can he do? He can't go
He
here,
can't go that way.
but he can.
He can go left.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, and then he gets redirected.
Down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets a road closure sign and a diversion sign.
And when Mr. Negative comes along here, what can he do?
He can go down there and go with the other negative one. Yeah.
Okay. So every time this changes,
The negatives are getting sent a different direction and the positives are all getting collected. It all sorts them out, really.
oh, this is the other good one. Yeah, you like this? Where is it? Blue wire. Yeah.
It's got a bit of tape on, yeah.
He comes off of.
Oh, yeah. Where you put your key in,
Yeah.
the ignition.
He comes out here. Comes to this terminal here.
Yeah.
Back into this triangle,
Oh.
along with this, for the brake light switch.
So can't we just take the brake light switch in there initially?
Yeah. I just need to work out where this is split because it's going to be somewhere in this sheathing.
We are so different. I would have just took all of this off of the bike and like...
So there'll be a joint in here somewhere.
Hi.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
What's happening in your world?
It's wires and things and bits, stuff.
Yeah,
So-
but can we just first and foremost look at how clean that triangular
trays.
thing is?
Toolbox, yeah. You did a nice job.
Always do.
It's temporarily in with some nice number plate bolts. Hold it in place. I've now got the new fuse in place here.
Yeah.
So we're going to drill a couple of holes in the cover and we're going to rivet that in place there, and he will live in there permanently. We'll then put a battery terminal on the end of this once we cut it to length, and that's our battery positive in. We then loop a cable from here onto the ignition switch. That's that side done. These just want some new connectors on the ends and they're ready to go. Then we come to the blue wire.
You've had some fun with this blue wire, haven't you? I've been hearing your spicy words.
So the blue wire is the feed straight from the ignition switch to deliver power to pretty much everything.
Okay.
So this goes out off the ignition switch. He feeds the indicators. He feeds
Brake light.
the brake light, yeah. And then up to the front and then splits off to feed a load of things at the front. And you remember we said we were pushing the harness and it was cutting out and doing weird things.
Yes.
So this it was taped into the wire. So I think this is as built Royal Enfield, unless it's been messed about with, but it's not.
What, where all them wires are like coming out?
Yeah, and not very
They're
well
all
jointed.
split.
It's all dry jointed. Look.
I hope that that's coming out on the camera.
You can see this phrase there, look.
Yeah.
So this is not good at all. All this moving around, that's going to be a high resistance joint. So we're going to cut that out, put a proper joint in there, probably eradicate some of this. The other thing is we've got grounds for various things that we don't need now. So we're going to pull these out, only join into an eyelet what we need, and then we'll connect the new battery cable to a separate eyelet. The other thing is, so these are supposed to be ground out on the frame.
Yep.
And bolt on the back. This frame is fully painted, both sides, so it wasn't making any connection to the frame.
Oh.
So we'll fix that. But yeah.
So does that mean it wasn't being grounded?
Not properly, no.